days before this happened in Houston, the R&B singer from Houston from the group Ideal, Cedric Cotton, was stabbed to death at age 46. Again, so many rituals in Houston with 46. But just to go back to the Public Enemy album, What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down? Again, they announced it the day that Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther, died, and that's not an accident because in the beginning of Black Panther, when you see his apartment in Oakland where the Black Panthers were founded, you can see the Public Enemy posters on the wall. There's two of them in the scene. And when the first action scene of the movie is him coming out of a plane down at some enemies and he throws this technology and it knocks out the power on their vehicles, right? And so then that same day that he dies, Public Enemy comes out and announces their album, What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down, is coming out September 25th. And look at this. From Chuck D's birthday, August 4th, to that release date was his 56th day of his age. And Society of Jesus, that's the official name of the Jesuits, is 56. Just like Power Outage is 56. And like Darrell's telling me down in Houston, the neighborhoods that seem to have the power going out the most are the black neighborhoods in Houston, which doesn't surprise me at all. Because look at what day that album came out. It came out on Chuck D's 56th day of his age on September 25th, a date that could be written 25/9 like 259 and Black Lives Matter's 56 and 259, and it's synced up with the death of Chadwick Boseman from the Black Panther. I mean, again, this is the mockery, you guys. This is the mockery. And when you're done with this live stream, I do encourage you to come over here and listen to the Public Enemy album, What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down. It's free on YouTube, but you do got to listen to the ads. You know, it's got the intro track, and then Grid is the second one, and they got Cypress Hill on there. It's a throwback, but, you know, they're talking about how everyone's so addicted to the internet and all this stuff, and how, you know, you better get your mind right, because, man, you guys are all going to be depressed with what's coming, and I haven't even finished listening to the album. I got through the song Toxic, and then I fired up this live stream, but I will finish listening to the album, too. And I will listen to it again, because I'm sure there's all sorts of little predictive programming clues in there. That's how this shit works, man. That's why they always do this to us with their entertainment, forecasting what's coming. It's psychological preparation. You know, you survey America. You know, go and survey America. What do you see in the next 30 years? What kind of a world do you see? It doesn't look good. And why do you think everybody has this same thought in their head? Because they've been watching the same movies that for the last 15, 20 years have been predicting this apocalyptic future, this zombie wasteland. Everybody's been watching The Walking Dead. And I knew right when that show came out, because I've been awake since 9/11, even before 9/11, but I've been awake since 9/11. When that show, The Walking Dead, came out, I said, man, they're telling us something with this one. We are The Walking Dead. We don't see what's going on in this nation, who really rules over us and where they're leading us to, which is the cliff. You know, they got those big Georgia Guidestones up since March 20. Hey, March, okay, that's another thing to remember here about Klaus Schwab, and this coming 322 days after his birthday. March 22nd, 322, which happens to be J.J. Watt's birthday, but March 22nd, 1980, the Georgia Guidestones were put up. Those huge, massive stone pillars etched out in 10 languages, and the first one is maintain the Earth's population at 500 million. Just like how Amazon redid the show Utopia in 2020, which is about billionaires that want to depopulate the world and get the population down to 500 million. And that number 500 million, again, it comes from history before fossil fuels were discovered. Somebody's going to get mad. They're not fossil fuels. Oh, okay, you know what I'm saying. Before petroleum products were pulled out of the ground, the Earth's population was said to be 500 million. And then it grew rapidly once we had the energy we pulled from the ground, because then all of a sudden we could grow more food, you know, way more productivity. So all of a sudden we still had the means to sustain more life on Earth. But 322, again, it's the number of skull and bones. It comes from the Bible. It comes from Genesis 322, knowing good and evil. When you write out Abrahamic religions, it's 322. When you write out ancient mystery religions, it's 322. And the ancient mystery religions are paid tribute to in Genesis 322 because it mentions the tree of life, which comes from Kabbalah, which is the most significant of the ancient mystery religions, which is where Gematria comes from. Because in Kabbalah's Book of Formation, it stated God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. And if you decode the verse Genesis 322 with the New International Version and the King James Version, even though they use different wording, they both equal 322. So big boss number there, 322. But again, this album, What You Gonna Do When the Grid Comes Down, came it was announced the day Chadwick Boseman died, and it released on Chuck D's 56th day of his age in a clear Jesuit ritual. And remember, the Jesuits controlled the Black Panther Party. Look up the history of the Black Panther Party. They had all their original meetings in the Bay Area, which is a very Jesuit city, in Catholic churches. Because the Jesuits in the Catholic Church control the show, and they're the divide and conquer gang. And that's what religion is, too. Religion is divide and conquer. That's how they keep people stuck where they are, fighting over themselves, over nothing, over the make-believe that they're given. You know, truly, make-believe religion they give you. And people are so invested in it. They know it's so real because it's been told to them by the authorities. Make-believe virus they give to you. You know, they just get rid of the cold and flu, and they just tell you there's this new thing out there and you need a vaccine for it. And it's all make-believe, but they got people fighting over it. You know, everyone's strapped up with their face diaper. I don't wear a face diaper ever. I just go everywhere every day without a mask. Been totally healthy. Been avoiding all the BS rules. Every now and then somebody will say something to me. I'm sure if I lived in Seattle right now, people would be saying something to me every day. And I honestly wish I lived in Seattle right now because I would love that. I love confrontation, you guys. I love putting people in their place. I ain't afraid of no chumps, no punks, no morons, no programmed, you know, whatever they are. I love it. Bring it on. But, you know, hardly anyone said anything to me, but when they do, I just, I tell them, man, you need to wake up. You need to pull your head out of your ass. Go download my book. I made it free. And I'm in the post office all the time shipping books. So I'm like, you know what I'm here today? I'm here to ship some books about how bullshit all this is. Anyway, all this stuff is controlled and created by them. And again, it's because they exploit the laws of Hermeticism. The first rule in Hermeticism is all is mental. That's why they're always controlling people's minds with their propaganda and their authority bullshit. You know, and they've done it to us since we were kids. And again, if you go back and look at all my report cards growing up, almost all of them say the same thing. Good student doesn't respect authority. And you know what? That final part was the most important quality about me, because I never respected authority. I didn't think anybody was my boss, not even my own parents. I was like, no, nobody's telling me shit. I know what's going on. I think I'm smarter than everybody else in the room. And you know what? That was probably true 99.9% of the time. I can remember one kid growing up who was smarter than me. His name was Dan Parks, wherever he is in the world right now. He got a full ride scholarship to MIT. He's probably controlling the weather machine right now. He hated everybody else. That's what else I think about. I think about how all the smart kids were the bullied kids, and they all grew up and probably got the best jobs, and they're probably like, fuck humanity. Dan Parks is probably with the joysticks right now, ice blast in Houston. But anyway, that's another story. So, and shout out to Dan Parks. I don't know that he's really doing that. I don't even know the guy's still alive. I haven't seen him since high school, but he was very smart. He got a 1600 on the SAT. Anyway. Oh, and with regards to this whole 56 thing, when Janet Napolitano warned about the next 9/11 being the power grid going down, she did that on January 24th, 2013. And look at this. From her birthday on November 29th to the day she did that was her 56th day of her age. Are you kidding me? Again, she was a politician in Arizona. She's from New York. Public Enemy's from New York. They got the album By the Time I Get to Arizona. And then they got their new album, What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down, with Arizona on the cover. And I mean, she's the politician who warned about this. Then their album warns about it. Again, you guys, it's not... I just realized something. When you write out New York, it's 39 in the most pure cipher. They love that number in New York. Arizona is the only other state that's 39 in the most pure cipher. And think about how after 9/11, that was the World Series, New York and Arizona. But look at this. Valentine is 39, right? Because again, it's all synced up with Valentine's Day. New York, Arizona, Janet Napolitano, Public Enemy. And these are big agendas. Federal's got that 39 in it. Masonry's got that 39 in it. It's a biblical number from the Old Testament. And of course, in the Old Testament, the real Hebrews are black. And in the end of the Bible, it talks about these false Jews, the synagogue of Satan, who'll be in control of things. And I see I got dummies in my comments who are arguing with me about the election, saying it was going to be Trump when I was telling them all year it was going to be Biden. And now these same dummies are leaving comments